Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with Gina Ganskip. She is the Education Director at the Penobscot Marine Museum in Searsport. Gina, thank you for being with us today.
I'm happy to be here, thanks.
Of course. And you're here to talk about Twilight tours, which will be happening on October 14th, correct?
That's correct.
Can you detail what the Twilight tours are going to be?
Yeah, it's an outdoor event, and we have volunteer actors stationed indoors throughout our 3.5-acre campus, and visitors get to come and walk around and hear stories from the different actors.
Cool. So it's kind of like a night at the museum type of thing.
Yeah, our actors are bringing to life the stories of people that were lost at sea.
Wow. Okay, so specifically, gotcha. Do you have any favorite stories, do you know, or are they kind of on their own to pick out the stories?
We have a variety of stories that they choose from. One of the stories that is going to happen this year is about a local Searsport lady who married a Searsport sea captain, and very soon after that she lost him at sea. And this is a story that happened a lot in Searsport and in this area. But a couple of years later, her sister had twins, and then she died soon after childbirth.
Yep.
And then a few years down the line, she ended up our original character ends up marrying the sister's husband and raising the son. And it's just a really interesting story, but it's also this really tragic tale of loss at sea.
These are stories, I guess you guys wouldn't really truly be able to encapsulate just in normal exhibits, so that's why this is so cool, right?
Yeah, well, you get a little taste of it in our normal exhibits, but we don't want to have too much death stories in our normal exhibits.
Right.
So this is kind of an opportunity to bring these stories together. Another story that we're hoping to tell this year is of the Royal Tar, which many people have heard about, which was a steamship that was traveling across Penobscot Bay, and it caught fire. But the interesting part about this was there was a menagerie on board. So a bunch of animals, like they had an elephant, and the idea of this, people call it a circus ship today, that went down. And many people were lost and many animals were lost. Really sad story, but really fascinating story to tell.
Yeah, it's crazy how a lot of the saddest stories and the most morbid stories are some of the most interesting.
Yeah,
so it's a big
true.
challenge to kind of cover those stories in a respectful but really interesting way.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And it's also super fitting, I mean, with Halloween, because by proxy, these are ghost stories, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Our volunteers have the option to tell the stories as the spirits of these people. And some of our volunteers go all out and are a little bit ghostly, and some are a little campy, and some play it straight.
That's awesome. So there's a variety when you come. Wow. And this is really special to Searsport as well. Like you said, I mean, that's a Searsport local. That's a real story of a woman who lost her husband and had to move on with life.
Yes, all of these stories are based on real people or real events that happened in the area.
Gotcha. So, I mean, and this is your last event of the season, right?
Correct.
How's the season been? Is this special for you guys to kind of wrap up on this event?
Yeah, it's been a great season. It's so nice to be completely open after COVID and welcoming visitors to us, and they're all having a great time. We have a daily schedule of activities, and people often stay for several hours. But we do close for the season on October 16th.
Yep.
And we'll be open again next Memorial Day. And there are other events throughout the winter, but this is our last big end of season event.
Right. Okay, so this is on the 14th, so then and that's a Friday, so you'll have the Saturday and Sunday too. If that really stirs the pot for people and they're like, oh my gosh, I got to go back before then.
You have to learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, can you say exactly, I'm so interested, how many actors do you know will be there?
We usually have about 6 to 8, so it's about a half-hour tour.
Yep.
And we're asking for, if you pre-register, it's only $8, but we do accept walk-ins, and then it's $10 for those people.
When does pre-registration end?
The day before.
The day before. Perfect. That reminds me, I did a tour of Mount Hope Cemetery where people kind of read stories like that. That reminds me of that.
It's a lot like that.
Awesome. Well, I mean, where can people learn more?
Yes, go to our website, which is penobscotmarinemuseum.org, and you also can find stuff on our Facebook page.
Awesome. And we will post this on our website, Fox Bangor, as well, with all these details and hyperlinks so that you can just be sent right there. Well, Gina, thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of course, of course. We'll throw it over to weather now. Thank you.